Hello! What do you do when you don't know where to go in life? So if that question just hit home for you, if you're asking it right now, the very first thing I want you to know is that you are so not alone. This is one of the most human questions there is. Feeling this way doesn't mean something's wrong with you. Not at all.
Okay, so let's really dig into this. We're going to completely reframe this whole experience. Because we're often taught to see this feeling of being lost as some kind of failure, right? But it's so much more helpful and more accurate to see it for what it really is, a period of transition.
And this, right here, shows you the power of that simple perspective shift. On one side, you have that heavy, self-critical thought, I'm lost. It feels like a dead end. But on the other side, you have the compassionate reality, I'm in transition. You see the difference? It's not a final destination, it's a process. It's just the journey between one part of your life and the next.
This quote just nails it. Think of it like outgrowing a piece of clothing. Your old path simply doesn't fit anymore. And that's not a failure, it's actually a sign of growth. The discomfort you're feeling right now is just the space between that old path ending and the new one starting to take shape.
So, the big question is, how do we navigate this in-between space? Well, the first tool is to actually change the way we talk to ourselves. We have to move away from demanding huge answers and shift toward a much gentler curiosity.
And just look at the contrast here. That massive, overwhelming question, what should I do with my life? It's paralyzing. It's way too big to answer all at once. So the key is to shrink your focus. Instead of asking about your entire life, just ask about this moment. What do you need right now? These questions, they're your new compass. Seriously, instead of trying to find some grand destination on a map, you're just looking for small clues right where you are. What gives you even a little spark of energy? On the flip side, what's just completely draining you? And you have to be honest about your needs. Is it rest? Is it a sense of security? Or maybe it's a deeper need for meaning? These answers will give you your very next step.
And this is so important to remember. A lot of the time, what we label as being lost is actually just burnout. You can't find a new direction if your tank is completely empty. Sometimes the most productive, most forward-thinking thing you can do for your future is to just rest, deeply and without any guilt.
Now, once you've started to refuel a bit, the next phase is all about movement. Because insight and clarity, they don't just pop into your head while you're thinking. They come from actually engaging with the world.
I really love this quote because it gets right to the heart of it. You can't think your way out of feeling stuck. You have to act your way out. Direction isn't some plan that you find, it's a path that you create through movement, one step at a time.
And this movement, it doesn't have to be some huge dramatic thing. Just think of these as small experiments. Each one is a totally low-stakes way to gather data about yourself. What do you enjoy? What do you dislike? Every single action, no matter how small, gives you another piece of the puzzle. You're not trying to find the answer. You're just collecting clues for what to try next.
Now, as you start doing these little experiments, it's really crucial to ask yourself a pretty fundamental question about the path you were on before you started feeling lost. Was it ever really yours to begin with?
This is such a classic conflict. You've got the shoulds, all those loud voices from society, from family, from culture, telling you what a successful life is supposed to look like. And then you have the wants, those quiet whispers that come from your own genuine desires. When those two are out of sync, feeling lost is pretty much an inevitable consequence.
So just take a moment with this question. Is it possible that your feeling of confusion isn't confusion at all? Maybe it's your inner self trying to tell you that you've made a wrong turn onto someone else's map. It's a signpost, really, inviting you to come back to yourself. And finally, let's talk about how to hold this entire experience. What if this period of not knowing isn't some problem that you have to solve, but a natural season that you just need to live through? This concept of wintering is just so powerful. I mean, nature doesn't bloom all year round, and neither do we. This fallow period, where it feels like nothing is happening on the surface, is actually essential. It's when the roots grow deeper, when energy is conserved, and when all the preparations for the next spring are quietly taking place underground. Which leaves us with this final thought. We put so much pressure on ourselves to find the right path, as if it's some treasure hidden somewhere. But what if that's the wrong approach entirely? What if the real work is just to tend to yourself, to rest,
to experiment, to listen, and to simply trust that by doing so, the path will emerge from the very person you are becoming.